Hello there. Happy Saturday. So Ryan and I decided in a rare decision, it's a weird way to put it, that we would go and we normally go for walks. That's not the unusual part, but we decided that we were going to go for ice cream. We were going to go and find some ice cream. And so we were walking around. It was really hot, and we walked by the first place, and there was a big line, and we were like, yeah, obviously there's going to be a line. Like, it's Saturday and it's hot, and it's like the middle of the afternoon. So we continued on our journey, and we found this little place that's more like a stand, but it's on Google Maps, so like it's clearly there all the time. And we were looking at the like window, but like we walked up and the window was like covered in black. And I was like, oh, I think they're actually shut. But then I just didn't see the woman sitting behind the counter there. And so they weren't shut. And so she like sort of like opened it up or whatever. And I understood why they had the black thing, because it was really friggin' hot. So they were trying to limit the heat loss from their freezer thing. So we got ourselves a cup. It was like, the cup was probably like this big, like maybe not even that big. There we go. And what we didn't, that was sort of the biggest one we could get without getting a ½ liter. And I thought it looked like kind of a small container. And I was like, that's weird that would be the biggest one and it's kind of a small container. But, we ordered, and so they said, oh, you can have 2 flavors. I was like, 2 flavors? Like, that's a tiny little cup for 2 flavors, but yeah, all right, let's get 2. And what she did was she like filled the cup with the first flavor, and then there was like another ball that sort of went on the top, like the second flavor. So it was kind of a mountain of ice cream. Now, today was like 30 degrees or more outside. Like, it was very hot at the time that we had gone to this. And by the time that we had paid and picked up our ice cream off the counter, which was maybe a minute, like it was not a long period of time, it had started melting, which you would expect, but it was melting so fast. And the weight of the ball of ice cream on the top of the other one was it was like sinking into the bottom ice cream that was melting, and it was causing an overflow. Like, so I'm holding this ice cream and it's just going all down my hands and down my arm, and it was like an unwinnable, like, how you get an ice cream cone and then you just have to like and try and lick out all the dripping parts of it, and then you kind of get it under control and it's okay. This was like unwinnable. Like, we just stood there trying to get the melting to stop so it would stop sinking into the ice cream that was also melting and just overflowing everywhere. And like, I just think that was a really poorly designed package, to be honest. Like, I know it was really hot. It's definitely not their fault that the ice cream was melting. But I think it could have been served colder, so it would have been harder when it came out of the freezer, for one. And I think that the cup that they gave us was so small. Like, the cup to ice cream ratio was not enough. And so we ended up with it just melting all down our hands and trying to eat it as fast as possible, which is not what you want. Like, that's not an ideal ice cream experience. And then we were sort of walking home and seeing like, man, I ate that way too fast and now I don't feel good and my hands are all sticky and like there's nothing I can do about that until we get home. And it was just overall like, it's not like I'm saying, oh, I'll never go back there. Like, maybe I will, but it wasn't an excellent experience. And I don't think it has anything to do with the normal, like, the ice cream was very good. They clearly care about their product, but they didn't really think through their customers' experience and what happens if it's really hot, like, or what happens if, by accident there's way too much ice cream that gets scooped out, or, how do we deal with it if it starts melting? Like, all of these things that it felt like just didn't weren't looked after with the tiny cup that they gave us, like the cup to ice cream ratio. So it had me thinking about my own business and like, what is my customer's experience? Like right from the start, what is it that they're going through? How do we interact with each other? Like, how do I send agreements? How do they give me information? Just that kind of thing. And how can I optimize it? Basically, how can I make it excellent so that people want to come back? Because things like ice cream and accounting, it's not that they're commodities, because there is a difference, right? Like that's why people are always like, hey, you know, a good accountant, because it's not that we're all the same. Accountants are not all the same. Ice cream places are not all the same. But I think if you can really think through your customer's experience and give them an amazing experience and be really good at your customer facing stuff, that's how you get people to come back. And that's how you get word of mouth, right? People talk about it. They're like, oh my goodness, you'll never believe like this. Like my accountant allows me to upload files to them so I don't actually have to go in and see them. Like, just little things like that maybe sets you apart from your competitors. Tell me your story about an excellent product or service. Maybe it is an ice cream shop. Maybe they have like an excellent like cup with a drainage system in it. It's not a thing I've ever heard of, but maybe it exists. Let me know in the comments. Tell me what your favorite customer service experience has been. Whether product company, service company, whatever. I'd love to know. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you tomorrow.